Hi everybody, Cheryl and Lady coming to you from the Ladies Garden and Home, and today I want to show you what I'm doing differently that I also think will be easier this year to put my garden to bed. So I hope you join us. So I've always been rather traditional about how I put my beds to bed for the winter. I cut my plants off at the root, leave the roots in, and then I put a layer of compost down about 2 inches, and then I put a handful of fertilizer, dry organic fertilizer, and then whatever leaves I have, I mulch on top. And that's worked very well for me. The only problem is that not only does composting take a lot of time and effort, but it's also gotten very expensive to supplement it. So this year I've decided, instead of going that route, I'm going to save my compost for the spring, and I'm going to chop and drop. Not only do I think that this method is going to save me time and money, but I also think it's going to be very healthy for the soil. So, for example, with these impatiens that are done after our frost we had last week, I'm chopping these down, leaving some stem and the roots in the ground. Now the stem will let me know where this plant was when I go to plant next year, and having kind of disintegrated over the course of the winter, the roots will be much easier to pull, so that'll give me a clean start. And then I'm just going to chop, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to weed whatever doesn't belong in the bed. And since there's no seeds in these weeds, I'm going to leave this on top as well. And it's just a nice couple of inch mulch. And I don't mind the woody stick pieces, because next spring I'm going to come in and rake this all up anyway when I'm preparing my beds for spring planting. Now what this does is, if you chop and drop right in place, these plants, whatever impatiens need from the soil, they have been collecting those nutrients and growing with them. And what this does is that it really helps put the nutrition right back into the soil where the nutrients were taken. In addition, this helps with the bugs coming up and really breaking down the plant matter. And because it's thick, it's rather thick, I think it's going to really help suppress the weeds growing over the winter. I really harvested a whole bunch of celery this week, and what I did with some of the tops and some of the much thinner stems is I just laid them here, but I'm going to need to supplement that with some more green material. But also, as you can see, I have a ton of seedlings coming up that I don't want to smother. So I'm trying to be careful not to smother those, but making sure that the soil is protected just the same. So I brought a whole bunch of the celery inside to chop up and freeze, and I saved the pieces and the leaves, and also some leek leaves that I had. And instead of putting this in the compost bin, this year I'm going to just put it right in the bed. In this bed here, I also put a whole bunch of celery leaves on top. I figured we need leaves, I need compost, I need the nutrients from the compost, so I might as well just let it kind of compost in place over the winter and not drag all this stuff over to the compost pile, wait 6 months or so, then drag it back out of the compost pile and pile it on top of the soil anyway. I did the same thing with the bush beans that I took down, and the tomatoes, where I just chopped and dropped the vines. Most of the leaves are pretty much breaking down already anyway. I found a tomato hiding, and it seems to be in good shape. Yay! These tomatoes here are getting very difficult for me to get to until the marigold comes out. I've already stepped on and did a little bit of damage to the broccoli. So I'm going to wait for the marigolds to die completely back, and then I'm going to take care of this mess here. But basically the same idea, just taking down the vines, putting them down at the bottom where the plant's roots are. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, and I hope you subscribe. Recycling. And from the Ladies Garden and Home, enjoy your gardening journey. Bye! Say goodbye, lady.